There's a special magic when it comes to taking imperfect action. You can plan and plan and plan until no end, but until you get out there and you just launch, you've got no idea what you're capable of. Waiting for you on the other side of that action is success. I see it all the time. People plan to no end, worrying about every single element or possible scenario they can come up against in their business, but they never just get out there and do it. Yet every example I give is of someone who just got out there and did it. They took action, they took that leap, they took the step, and they just did it. They put the systems and processes together. They dug deep to find their own confidence, which is a really important aspect. You've got to dig deep to find your confidence. But once you've found that, once you've dug deep, and even if you get there, you're not 100% confident, but you just keep putting yourself out there through repetition, you're going to get there. It's never perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but you're going to learn so much faster by simply getting yourself in the ring. I'm going to give you in this video a few great examples within our community and talk you through how people manage to close, for example, a $6,000 deal 7 days after launching their campaigns with no experience in this with this offer. Brand new. First, you have Lee. So you can see Lee here, who launched his ad campaigns 7 days ago for the first time using our CAE system. He had 10 calls booked within the first week. So he launched on the Monday, and in that week, 10 calls booked into his calendar. Exactly 7 days later, almost to the hour actually, after he hit that launch button, he closed his first $6,000 deal with a 15% rolling commission on it. He has even more deals in the pipeline from those 10 calls. I've reviewed the sales calls. I know those deals are in the pipeline. They're a 2-call close typically, but they are very qualified. They're making the decision. He took them through the sales pitch. He took them through the problem scenario or problem solution scenario, and they are very positive, right? So there's even more deals to come on that. This is just his first $6,000 deal. He didn't have experience with this system, right? He put the system together. He asked all the questions about the system, how it works, and how to put it together, going to review things. All of a sudden, he's closing these deals. He launched the campaigns having not, I believe, not having booked calls before with paid ads, and then had 10 in his calendar. That's the reality, right? That's what happens, and it's not anything special or magical. It's because they take action. They just do the thing. It's not perfect. They just put it together. They follow the instructions. They ask the questions they have to ask, and then they launch. They hit that publish button, which is the most important part. You have to hit that publish button. That's the reality. And you can see it here. You can see, where he booked his first 4 calls and he spent $100 or $96 and booked 4 sales calls. And then he, over the course of the week, he spent $570 and booked 10 calls. And 8 calls showed up, so, and 2 more on Monday, so almost 100% sure rate of the calls. Well, yes, 100% sure rate of the calls he had that week, and 2 were future calls. So that's pretty solid, right? Would you pay $57 per call for a $5,000+ offer? It was $6,000, but would you pay that? Pretty sure you would. If you offered that to me, I would take it. Then basically 7 days later, and literally, I promise you, to the hour, he landed his first deal. The split pay, 2 payments of $3,000 plus 15% ongoing management, and he's got a few more closes to get through this week. How's that for a first week, right? But again, it's nothing magical. It's simply taking action. And that's the moral of this story. You have to get out there. You have to put yourself out there. You have to take action. This is your sign to do it. That's all it takes, is just take the action. My channel has everything that you need. Everything. I don't gatekeep information. I don't hold it back. It has the information on it. You just have to take action. It's the exact same scenario with Mobin. He asks me questions. He executes on the answer and comes back a week later with more results. This happens every week. More deals closed, more cash collected. It's just a repeat cycle. But he shows up every week. He's always there. And that's the key. You just have to show up and execute. He hit $55,000 in a single day. In fact, he bought a house in Dubai because of this. He literally said that the reason he managed to fulfill his dream of buying a house in Dubai was because of this process. But it's not about the process. It's about having a clear vision, clarity, and moving forwards. Because with clarity comes confidence. It goes hand in hand. The more clarity we can give you, the more confident you're going to be, which then leads to more closes. That's the reality. So $55,000, and I'll show you just so that you can see it from the horse's mouth, essentially. $55,000, no testimonials, no case studies, no success stories, nothing. Could have been a $100,000 day. Here's other deals that he closed on their $5,000 deal for the system. I think this was another $5,000 deal in 2 installments and also $2,000 per month as a future retainer. And I believe he's also got another deal of $16,000 over the course of the year. Another example was Trey. He took action, built the system, following the instructions extremely quickly. He just executed on it, and then bang, deal after deal closed. Here's just a couple of them. This one was a $7,500 deal. $5,000 up front and $2,500 on completion 30 days later. Then you've got another one there that was $3,500 plus 20% for a year. Just keeps going, right? Or Brian within the e-commerce space, 2 large e-com companies for $5,500 up front, 3 funnels for $15,000 and 10%, and of course 3 others he spoke to, which 2 or all 3 of them should close, so about $20,500 up front, plus 3 more strong closes. Imagine this scenario. Imagine the reality if that was your reality. But it could be. You just have to take action. You just have to do it. The blueprint is right there. It's on my channel. You can digest and binge the content. I give it all to you there. You just have to take action. Or you could Jeremy. He just landed his first CAE deal. He basically did this within about a week as well. Launched. He ran cold email for his client acquisition. Didn't even go straight to ads. Ran cold email. Got a $3,000 setup deal plus $1,000 per month a week later and 5% commission. Within 7 days. That's extremely fast turnaround. That's what it takes. It doesn't take you months to get clients. You have to have the right offer. You have to have the execution plan, and then you have to do it. That's all it's going to take. The key here is to take action, right? Obviously, to set the wheels in motion. I have spent a tremendous amount of time thinking about whether to make a decision or not. Completely time wasted. I have built spreadsheet after spreadsheet after spreadsheet, of which the offer or the system or whatever offer it was I was building, it was always profitable in the spreadsheet, always 100% of the time. It was never unprofitable. Yet the reality of business doesn't work like that because business isn't built on spreadsheets. So you can spend all the time in the world thinking about this, and I'm a big culprit of this as well, but that isn't taking action. The key is to have your action plan in place, plan it once, and then do it. You got to get yourself in the ring. As you're in the ring, as you bring clients in, you're learning more and more and more. This basically accumulates, right? It works. It's incredible what happens when you're in the ring and how fast you actually learn. It compounds as you learn more and more and more. But you'll never learn this if you don't get out there and just do it. It's always a question of what's actually stopping you from just jumping in. I want you to ask yourself that, right? What is it that's stopping you? Is there something in your way? What is it? Is it a fear of getting started? Are you worried about what people are going to say? Are you worried about what if it doesn't work? What is it you're actually worried about? If you had a blueprint where others had succeeded or they've had success, could you follow it? That's a key question, right? Other people have done it. If you were given the same blueprint, could you follow it? Could you do it? Could you then build it and then launch it? You see, when I first started, I always thought, can people like me actually do this? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm from Scotland. And in Scotland, people aren't in the online space that much, right? I went to a service recently, like a skin service. And basically, the guy was only about 30, 35 years old, about there. He was a business owner. And he was basically saying, oh, well, we don't do the social media stuff. We don't do it at all. We don't think it would work for this kind of service. It definitely would work. But, people don't want to see that. We just go through referrals. So Scotland is almost stuck in the land it's a land that time forgot, right? People aren't necessarily online like that, which is nice in some ways, but they're not really there. I know one guy from Glasgow, but that's it. I sound different to most. My accent is different. I have a different culture with different beliefs. That was my background. There was no one pushing me forwards in that space because it didn't really exist. Nobody around me did what I did. And everybody who was out there that could help me was from the US, which is great because they were very helpful. But I always had that insecurity that I'm different to them because I don't come from the US. I didn't grow up in that entrepreneurial environment. Will people understand me because my accent isn't as clear as their accent, which is a big concern for Scottish people. Believe me, it's a huge concern. Will people actually understand me because my accent isn't as clear as their accent? The reality is, I got there. I did it. I made it happen. And if I got there, you can get there too. The people I've shown you in this video are from all over the place. I've got clients in the US, Dubai, Australia, the UK, multiple in Malaysia, Singapore, Morocco, Italy, France, Holland, you name it. I've worked with people from there, and the key behind every single one of them, taking action. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to help you move forwards. Take my videos on this channel for example. They are definitely not as glamorous or as well edited as others in this space, but putting myself out there on social media has always been a challenge for me, but I just get it done. If you want to achieve results like this, you need to focus on two key areas. Number one, having the right plan in place, making sure it's the right vehicle. And number two, just following the blueprint and launching. You can't overthink it. If you do, you will never start. You'll never get started at the first step. Problems are going to come up, but that's business. Your dreams, that lifestyle, that freedom, it's all at the other side of the tasks that you're avoiding. If you're looking at the videos on my channel, you know the strategy that works. I give you everything. I don't gatekeep the information at all. I tell you exactly how to do it. I've shown you in this video just a few of the people who jumped in and took action. There's only one difference between those who jumped in and where you might be right now, actually taking action on the information. So it comes down to two decisions. The first decision is, first of all, do you want the results that you've seen in this video? Do you actually want that? Is that the reality that you want? The second decision is, considering you have everything you need on my channel, are you going to take imperfect action and just get it done today? That's the only difference. You have the same information. It all comes down to taking action. Today, this is a very direct video because I felt how you might be feeling right now. Maybe you don't fit in with what you usually see in the industry or on YouTube or whatever, the ads that you see, the groups that you're in, which is Lamborghinis and the 20-year-old people. Maybe that isn't you. Maybe freedom and travel is what you want to focus on. Maybe like me, you sound different. Maybe like me when I first started, or like any of the successful people I showed you, you don't have experience. In fact, the system that these members use to achieve those results is my system. So none of them had experience doing this at all. None of them. So we know it's not a lack of experience. That isn't the problem. It's simply down to taking action. Now, we're about to enter Q4 2024. This is buying season. It's time to get serious. Use this video as motivation to get it done, take imperfect action, and once and for all, change everything. We're different, but that's our advantage. If you like the videos like this, make sure that you like the video. Any questions, comment down below and I'll help you. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.